So you've probably looked at Fusion Microgrids, seen that APR, and asked a pretty fair question. Why would I put my money here when I can get a better rate somewhere else? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into why that simple APR number doesn't even begin to tell the real story, and how a totally different mindset might completely change how you see this thing.
Okay, before we jump in, we've got to get the important disclaimer out of the way. This is all just for educational purposes. It is absolutely not financial advice. DeFi is the Wild West. It carries huge risks, so please always do your own research. All right, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about why the usual comparison people make is just wrong. Then we'll introduce a new way to think about this. Mining rigs, not savings accounts. We'll unpack this idea of retroactive value, look at the real economic engine, and then wrap it all up with the bottom line.
So let's get right into it, right to the heart of the matter. We're going to tackle the comparison that everyone makes and show you why it might be pointing you in the completely wrong direction.
This is the question, isn't it? And you know what? It's a totally fair, totally logical question to ask. You look over at traditional finance, you see higher rates, you see instant liquidity, you see government insurance, and you think, why on earth would I look at a DeFi protocol that seems to offer less? And yeah, when you just put the numbers side by side, the case seems pretty clear-cut. Fusion's showing something like 3% APR, while a boring old money market fund is giving you 4, maybe 5%, or even more. It looks like a no-brainer. But here's the twist. This is the most crucial point of this whole thing. You are making the wrong comparison. It's like trying to compare the miles per gallon of a Formula One race car to a giant freight train. I mean, yeah, they're both vehicles, but they are built for entirely different jobs, and they operate on completely different rules.
To really understand Fusion, you have to throw that whole savings account idea right out the window. We need a new mental model. Don't think of it as a place to park your cash. Think of it as a machine you own that works for you. So what is Fusion really? Well, it's the ownership layer for the entire EMP ecosystem. When you hold microgrids, you literally own a percentage of the revenue from every single protocol that's running now and every protocol that will launch in the future. It's not a deposit, it's an ownership stake. And one of the most powerful features here is this supply. It is hard-capped, permanently fixed at 49 million. And when I say permanent, I mean it. No more can ever be minted, ever. That scarcity alone is a world away from the US dollar in your money market fund, which can be and is printed endlessly. Now, think about what that scarcity means. Based on how many microgrids are staked right now, only about 90 people on the entire planet can ever own 1% of all the rewards Fusion generates. Just let that sink in. Can you even imagine owning 1% of a money market fund? It's not even a concept. And that brings us to the perfect analogy, a digital mining rig. Think about it. With Bitcoin mining, your rig provides hash power, and you use it to earn a super scarce asset, Bitcoin. In Fusion, your microgrids are your hash power, and the scarce asset you're mining is eShare. Okay, I hear you. If it's a mining rig, why the heck does it show an APR at all? That's a great question. Let's pull that number apart and see exactly why it's so misleading. The APR you see on the screen, it's nothing more than a snapshot in time. It's a simple real-time calculation. It just takes the amount of eShare you're earning and multiplies it by whatever the dollar price of eShare is at that exact second. It's a fleeting number, not a fixed promise. Here's a perfect example from just recently. When the price of eShare went from about $11 to $12, the displayed APR literally jumped by a full percentage point. But did the protocol start earning more money? Nope. Were you earning more eShare? Not at all. You are still mining the exact same amount of the asset. The only thing that changed was its temporary price tag in dollars. And this is where we get to the most powerful concept of all, retroactive value. Every single eShare token you earn today, while it's priced at, say, $12, is still one full eShare token. If or when the market recovers and that same token goes back to its old highs of over $100, well, that 3% yield you're getting right now retroactively becomes a 30, 40, or even higher percent APR on your original investment. You are stacking the asset, not its day-to-day dollar price. So where does this eShare even come from? This is really important because it's not just printed out of thin air like in so many other protocols. There's a real sustainable economic engine that makes this whole mining operation work. The process is actually pretty simple, and it's beautiful. Real revenue, from trading fees, marketplace sales, you name it, flows into the treasury. The treasury then takes that cash, goes onto the open market, and buys eShare tokens.
Then, that E-share it just bought gets distributed to all of us stakers. That is real yield. It's bought, not printed. This creates constant buy pressure and is completely non-inflationary. And guess what? That stream of revenue is just getting started. It's set to grow a lot. As new protocols come online and more fee streams get turned on, that ownership percentage you have today is going to get a slice of a much, much bigger pie. Your mining rig is basically getting plugged into richer and richer territory over time.
All right, let's bring it all together. We've pretty clearly established that we're talking about two completely different games here. So how do you decide which one you're supposed to be playing?
Let's go back to that insurance point for a second. Yes, your money market fund is insured. But what exactly is being insured? It's a claim on US dollars, an asset that is designed to inflate and lose value over time. With Fusion, you have uninsured ownership of a provably fixed supply asset. They are fundamentally different things with fundamentally different risk profiles. This table really sums it all up. On one side, you've got the money market fund. Its goal is simple: earn a stable yield in dollars today. On the other side, you have Fusion Microgrids. The goal there is to accumulate a meaningful ownership stake in a growing digital economy. The key metric isn't today's APR, it's what percentage of the whole system you own.
You know, this is the exact same mindset that the very first Bitcoin miners had. If they had only focused on whether their day one mining profits covered their electricity bill, they all would have quit immediately. They weren't playing that game. They were playing the long game, the accumulation game.
So let's end by reframing the question. The right question isn't what's the APR today? The real question is, what will my fixed percentage of this entire ecosystem be worth in 2, 3, or 5 years as it grows? For anyone who gets that mining rig mindset, that's a much more exciting question to answer. And finally, one last time, we have to be crystal clear about the risks. This is not financial advice. DeFi protocols are experimental, they are risky, there can be smart contract bugs, insane market volatility, and who knows what else. Past performance means nothing about the future. Always do your own deep dive and never, ever invest more than you're willing to lose. Thanks for tuning in.